Alright you guys, sneak peek number 3 is here. We got a new brawler coming in the game. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so the newest brawler is Penny the Cannoneer. So she's going to be introduced as a super rare brawler. So she's going to be somewhat easy for you guys to attain once she actually comes out for us all to get. So taking a look at her right off the bat, she resembles Jessie a lot actually. She has the same exact health, she does the same exact upfront damage, and her super is very similar to Jessie. She drops a cannon instead of a turret, but it is something else that you can place within the game. Kind of like Nita's super or Jessie's super or now Penny's super. So it's really cool. Let's jump into the specifics of what they actually do. Alrighty guys, so taking a look at her attack first. So it's called Plunder Bust. So she shoots out a pouch of fool's gold. If it hits the enemy, the pouch bursts and coins hit the target behind the first enemy. So what happens is the shot will shoot out, hit an enemy, and then if anyone is behind that enemy, they'll get hit as well. But it seems like you have to be really close in order to get that to land. The bursts after the pouch hits an enemy behind does the same exact damage as the upfront damage, so 11,120. So this seems like a pretty cool attack. Kind of resembles Jessie's as well, where the main shot will do damage to the first one, but then it heat seeks onto the other opponents. This one has that same kind of effect where if you hit someone else, it could potentially hit another person as well. So she doesn't do a whole lot of upfront damage. She only does 11,000, but the whole thing where she can hit people behind, and she's going to rely a lot of her damage from her super, which is her cannon, and we'll jump into that next. So next, jumping into her super, so it's called Broadside, and again it's a lot like Jessie's where it's an actual thing that you place within the game. So instead of a turret, it's a cannon. Now it is a little bit different where this one's going to be a little bit for longer range pressure. So let me read the description for you. So Penny sets up her cannon. It can shoot at enemies at long range even if they are behind cover. So basically it's going to be able to shoot people when they're hiding behind stuff. I'm sure you're still going to have vision on them if before it shoots. It's not going to be that overpowered if like someone's in the brush or anything like that. It's just going to target them. It's going to hit people from a distance. So different game modes that are running through my mind is like on Bone Box. So if you place the cannon behind the box, you are able to target players on the opposite side of the box. So it has a little bit more range than Jessie's super. So as you can see, the cannon has a health of 3,920, so pretty hefty, and the cannon damage does 1,680 damage. So not too bad. That actually does a whole lot of damage. Now her star power is related to her super somewhat like Jessie's. However, this one is actually really cool. So we're going to jump into that next. Now her star power is called Last Blast, and this one sounds really cool. I hope I can get this very quickly. I do have a lot of brawl boxes, so I might be able to pick up the star power somewhat decently fast. So it reads, when Penny's cannon is destroyed, it shoots out one last barrage of bombs, each dealing 1,680 damage. So this reminds me a lot of Brock's super actually, and it is a star power, so if you don't have her maxed out, you're not going to be able to use this. So yeah, I think the star power is definitely going to be great for game modes that requires you to keep positioning, like gem grab. So once your cannon dies, it lets off a final blast of barrage so that it keeps the players away just for a split second longer. And I'm assuming that you probably can stack your super, so once you have that super out, it's going to constantly be refilling your super, much like Jessie, and you can keep throwing down those cannons. And I gotta say, I feel like this sounds a little bit more overpowered than Jessie's. It's going to be really fun, and again, I'm happy that it's a super rare, so we all can get our hands on it fairly quickly. I hope the next brawler that's released is going to be a higher rarity, like maybe an epic, a mythic, or a legendary. We'll have to see. And again, I'm going to give credit to both Coach Corey and Lex for the content that you guys saw about Penny in the beginning of the video, because I don't have dev build yet, so I can't show you guys gameplay firsthand. So thanks Lex and Coach Corey. But this brawler is awesome. Penny the Cannoneer is going to be a really fun brawler to play with. I can't wait to get my hands on it. You guys know that it's been a very long time since we had a new brawler. The last one was Daryl, so it feels good to have something fresh coming to the game that we can actually play with, and something that we all can get our hands on. So let me know what you guys think of this new brawler in the comments down below. We're going to roll on to the remainder of the video where I discuss my opinions on global and Android release and when it actually is going to be coming out, my speculation. So let's jump into that. Alright, so for the remainder of the video, I want to have a quick discussion about global and Android release and when I believe it's going to be coming out for us to play finally. So let's get right into it. So I did want to bring this image up again before I start making predictions on global and Android, but we did already get confirmation from the Brawl Stars dev team that they don't have a set planned date for global or Android publicly. So I'm sure they're talking about internally when it's going to be coming out. They're constantly looking at numbers, making sure that the game is doing well enough before it goes global. But this was the confirmation that we got over on the Discord. So Ryan says, guys, we still have no date for global, nor have we made any decisions. So I can't tell you guys anything because we don't know ourselves yet. So publicly, they don't have a confirmed date on when it's going to be coming out, but we can look back at older things that they've said in the past, kind kind of getting ready, prepared for global and Android release, what they need in the game before they wanted it to go global, and how close we are to that. So let's jump into some of the things that are going on in Brawl Stars right now. So way back when, before the interface changes occurred and everything like that, the major thing that they said they wanted to implement into the game before it went global is more content. So they wanted to have more game modes, more brawlers. They specifically said that they wanted more brawlers before this game goes global. Now that was a while ago. I think that was around when they introduced Tara and Piper. So we've gotten Daryl, and we're going to be getting 2 more brawlers. And personally, I feel like we have enough brawlers for people to be interested in the game and wanting to get other brawlers and progress further in the game. So I feel like on that front, we're pretty decent. We have a lot of different game modes that we can play in. We're getting 2 more new ones in this update as well. Not to mention the special events, so Robo Rumble and Boss Fight. I think we have plenty of game modes that we can, or that we have at our disposal to keep us interested in playing this game for a long duration. Also, if we take a look at the last update and the update that is about to drop right now, the last update was kind of a disappointment in our eyes for the people who are in beta playing, all the veterans out there who've been playing since Brawl Stars has been released in beta. I feel like that update was essential. I think the whole update was basically trying to get ready for global and Android. So Ryan specifically said in the Brawl Talk that if they didn't switch it to landscape, they would have killed the game. So obviously they're taking the steps necessary in order to go to global and Android. I think that they're getting very, very close. The last update, like I said, was essential for getting those new players being able to pick up the game and enjoy it for a longer duration, so that once they start playing, they don't just get rid of it because of boredom or anything like that. Brawl Stars time and time again has stressed that retention is super important, and that is super important for any type of game. You have to have retention early on in the game for sure. If you think about it, the people that are in beta right now are, like I said before, the veterans. So we, the people that are playing right now, are enjoying this game and love this game because we've been playing it for 9 months. So the focus isn't on us necessarily, but getting those new players that are going to be picking up the game once they download it and once it comes out Android and global to want to play it. They want to get high retention rates from those people that are just picking up the game. So the previous update was with those intentions. We wanted to increase the retention rates of the newer players coming to the game. Now the Brawl Stars team has repeatedly said that the last update, all the numbers are looking positive. They're trending well in the right direction. So the retention rates are up. People are picking up and enjoying the game. Now the update may have not seemed super successful because all the people on Reddit that are discussing it are veteran players, so they understand the game. They liked it better before when it was in portrait because we were used to playing in that way. So if we kind of break it down, the previous update was successful in order of taking that next step towards global and Android release. So that was a success. Now taking a look at this update. So one, we're getting new content. So we're getting that update hype with the new brawlers, the new game modes, stuff like that. Then we're getting a lot of important things for getting ready for global as well. So the spectating, we're also getting a new trophy progression system. So the people introduced to the game early on are going to be able to play longer or want to grind up their trophies and stick with the game because they're going to be able to get those rewards. We have the auto aim nerf, so the newer players aren't going to be totally reliant on that. I feel like it has been pretty much so set in stone that if you have something in the game that is superior, very superior throughout the game, and you're reliant on that for a long duration of the game, once it starts becoming a little bit more irrelevant, once you get maybe a little bit higher in trophies, and then the flick to shoot becomes a little bit more superior than what you're used to playing with, that causes people to die off. So the auto aim nerf is definitely going to help retention rates as well, because people are going to pick up the game, understand it with the auto aim. It's going to help out a lot. But as they play longer and longer, they're going to develop skills in order to flick a bit better and become a little bit more strategic in the game. They're not just going to be reliant on the auto aim throughout their Brawl Stars career. And that's just naming a few. We're also getting some social features being added to the game, which is really important for retention rates, being able to connect with friends and stuff like that. So I feel like this next update is a big one. I feel like it sets the stone or the stage for global and Android to come next. So that's going to be leading into kind of my predictions as to when it's actually going to be coming out for global and Android, because we are pretty dang close, guys. Alright, so I have speculated in the past that I feel like after this big update where we're receiving tons and tons of things, that Android and global release is going to be the next thing that's going to be coming out. Obviously, there's probably going to be some tweaks that are going to be made after this update to the existing update, but I don't think Brawl Stars needs to add anything huge to the game anymore after all these big changes. I seriously can't think of anything in my head that needs to be added to the game besides very, very small things. I think the huge staple things that are needed for global and Android Android have already been implemented or being implemented in this next update. Another really important thing to bring up about global and Android release that Coach Corey had also touched on in one of his videos is that Finland is required to take a 6-week break in July. So every single member in Finland, every single person that is located in Finland has to take a 6-week vacation, and the dev team typically takes it around in July. Now we're coming up on that. That's about 2 months away. So I'm assuming that they're going to try to go global and Android before that date. If not, they're going to have to extend it very, very long. We're going to have to wait another 2 months before that goes global or Android. So I'm assuming that they want to get it ready before they take that vacation, because like I said before, I don't think that anything else really needs to be added in a major update to this game before global and Android. So I don't know what they would have to work on in that time before. So guys, those are my thoughts on Android and global release and when it's going to be coming out. This next update is a very big step in the right direction in order for global and Android to actually be ready. Also, we're coming up on that anniversary. We're almost in beta for about a year. That could be somewhat of a thing that they're kind of playing on as well. I'm not certain. That's all speculation again, but I am speculating that it's going to be coming out before July. I think after this big update, it's going to be time for global and Android release. That is what I'm thinking at this current given time. Alrighty guys, so that is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys are all psyched up for these sneak peeks coming out. I know today's was awesome. If you all did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, so you can keep up to date with all of these sneak peeks coming around the corners. So with that being said, everyone, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare.